Hello Capricorn, welcome to your bonus reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 3 of Pentacles. This is really a great card for you. This is Mars in Capricorn, okay? This is you with with this sort of intense energy to push forward, kind of no matter what. I feel that there is a big obstacle in front of you. I feel like this is sort of a symbol of the mountain that you're trying to climb. And I think that you're someone who's kind of fed up. I feel like you're done with people that don't work, right? With ideas that aren't working, with feelings that aren't helping you, with plans that never materialize, with intentions that seem to be sort of frivolously given by other people, right? Promises. I feel like you are, I kind of feel like you're a little bit mad lately. And that's okay. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes we need to clench our fists sometimes and say, I'm not going to take it anymore, you know? And, well, let's see what you're doing with this energy. Let's see what is the mountain you're climbing and what other energies are around you right now. Okay? This is a lot of work. This is kind of the energy that says you're ready to get to work. You're done talking. You're done lollygagging. You're done making plans, making promises, or listening to promises, or listening to plans. You're ready now to get to it and get it going, right? Let's see what's going on here. Oh yeah, 9 of Cups. Yeah, baby, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. These 2 cards together, it says, I'm done with all the nonsense. I'm done with the bovine excrement. I'm going to do what I need to do to get happy. I'm going to live my happy life if it kills me, you know? We've got that Mars and Capricorn energy. That's just kind of, I'm done. I have a 0 tolerance for bovine excrement. That it is, this is powerful, right? This is kind of like nothing's going to stop you from getting this 9 of Cups, living this happy life, living a life that is for you. Okay? And of course, I feel like that means other people too. But it really is like a no-nonsense kind of attitude that we sort of, I don't know, maybe it's a moment of realization where you say, you know what, I'm done wasting my time on people that don't deserve it, on ideas that don't deserve it, that we're harnessing our power. And we're going to start doing things that mean something to our lives. We're going to start going after, we're going to start pursuing our happiness, following our bliss, no matter what. Nothing is worth sacrificing this 9 of Cups. We have a Queen of Pentacles. 3 of Wands. We have the Adjustment or Justice card and the Lover's card. I like that. We could be talking these 2 cards together, the Justice card and the Lover's card, just throwing that out there, could be a marriage, okay? Could be a union not only in spirit, not only a union of the heart, but a union of the mind as well, okay? And so I think this is going to be really good, regardless of how it actually materializes and what it really truly signifies for you. It could be a romantic relationship that turns into something very long-term, very committed. kind of signing the paperwork up here. But more than that, I feel like this Libra energy is you judging things. Yeah, that's it. I feel like this is you looking at every single thing in your life. Everything that you've been through in the past, present, and future. Everything that was, is, or could be. You're judging it. And you're thinking, is this going to lead to my happy life? Am I going to enjoy this? Is this going to be something good for me? Is this going to add to my abundance, either physically, financially, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, creatively? This Nine of Cups is what it's all about. And if in this moment-to-moment discernment, judgment, or evaluation, if you can't see how this person, place, or thing is going to add to your cups, I think you're choosing not to unite with that thing, not to couple with it, not to engage with it. Again, there's kind of this no-nonsense attitude, right? You're not judging anything's intrinsic value, but its relative value. Okay. Also, if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. Okay. Now, excuse my voice today. You don't usually sound like this. We're going to put the rest of our cards out on the table. A Three of Cups. That is what it's all about. 3, 3, and 3, right? Getting that abundance on every plane. Getting that joy, that satisfaction on every plane. We've got a Knight of Pentacles, a Knight of Cups, and a Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is a very nice balance with our Justice card. Because sometimes in this Justice card or Adjustment card energy, with this evaluation, we start to get good at it. We start to think that we could make no mistake. We start to get maybe overly confident and thinking that we're the judge and the jury, and we're sort of passing judgment on everybody and everything, which, yes, that's true. That's what I just said you're doing, right? In order to make sure that the things you engage with in life are meaningful and important and worthwhile. Okay? Sometimes that can be harsh. Sometimes we can say, I don't want to be friends with this person because that friendship is not worthwhile. Okay. The Seven of Swords, I feel like, is us being humbled a little bit. Because just as we're evaluating everything in our lives, other people are evaluating us too, you know? So I think this is a virtue that you have. The ability to receive criticism, you know, the ability to see yourself objectively and say, look, I'm not a perfect person. I've got things I've got to work on. And indeed, I think that's what you're trying to do. Okay. But we have to treat other people fairly, and we have to be willing to listen when other people are kind of giving their opinion about us, right? We don't need to be offended by the criticism. Now, it's criticism, it's not cruelty. It's a Seven of Swords. It's not a Nine of Swords. That we're not going to tolerate ever again. Okay. But a Seven of Swords, I can listen. I can go with some criticism, and you know, maybe the person's got a point. Right? Someone says, maybe criticizes me, my videos are too long. Okay. I'm not mad. Someone said in a comment the other day, a couple weeks ago, that my videos are terrible. I never get to the point. My outfits are horrible, and they wish they could get me out of their algorithm. I said, okay, you know, I don't get mad. You know, maybe I chuckle a little bit, but I don't get mad. And I say, well, you know, maybe they're right. Maybe I could tighten things up a bit and get to the point faster. It's true. My outfits, well, you know, I wear what I wear. I wear because I like it, you know. So we have to be willing to evaluate what's coming in, evaluate that criticism of ourselves too. Okay? And I think that's very important to maintain that balance of our character. So let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We'll set it down right here. Put Alien, Simon, Mork, Ripley right there on top. And now we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and give us our confirmation. If you have a prediction, well, put it in the comments. Okay. Let's take a look around the room here. We've got very interesting major arcana. Just these two. The Adjustment card and the Lover's card. We're evaluating and judging and being very discerning about what we commit ourselves to, what choices we make, what marriages we make. Now, this doesn't have to mean romantic marriage, doesn't have to be a legal marriage or something. It could be. Yes, of course it could be. These two cards, on the surface, you're getting legally married, right? But these cards are also, because the Lover's card is all about choice, what we choose to unite with. Who and what and where and when we choose to engage our energy. We're opening ourselves up and we are letting somebody in. We're melding our energy, our vibe, our soul, our aura with something else, someone or something. Okay? A person, place, a thing. And we do this in every moment, right? You're choosing to unite your energy with me right now here, as I am with you. I'm going to choose to unite with maybe a bowl of ice cream later. You know, and that's a choice, and that's a union. And that's something where it's a symbiotic relationship. It's mutually inspiring. Okay? You're inspiring me, I'm inspiring you. There's a two-way flow. Now, with me and the ice cream, I don't know if there really is that. Maybe not, you know. Well, in a sense, the ice cream is changing me. I'm changing it. Right? My body's breaking it down into all of its, you know, essential fatty acids and amino acids and the glucose, you know. Breaking it down and changing its chemical structure. And it's changing mine. Right? It's changing my chemical structure, but also my state of mind. Changing my consciousness. I'm a little bit happier, you know, feeling a little bit of joy in that moment with the sweetness of the ice cream and that sort of thing. So that's the Lover's card. It's what we choose to unite with. And yes, maybe this is a person. I'm going to choose to spend my time with this person as a friend or family or as a lover. And maybe I'm going to choose to really sign the papers, you know, and really commit to that one. But that's what the Adjustment card is. It's your discernment. It's your moment-to-moment evaluation. Should I unite with this thing or not? Should I seek out that thing and unite with it, or is that not going to be conducive to my happiness? My overall life happiness, not just the pleasure of the moment. But for the ice cream is a great example. In that evaluation, I say, I'm going to enjoy it now. Yeah, I'm kind of hungry. I could go for something sweet. Sounds good. I'm kind of hot in this jacket. It really would be nice. It would be very pleasant, very pleasurable. But overall, is it going to make me happy? Not necessarily. If I've been eating too much ice cream, it's not really making me happy. It's kind of like, I should probably cut back a little bit, you know. But otherwise, it is making me happy to have a little bit of ice cream. Maybe I can share it with my family. Maybe we can all have a little bowl of ice cream together. Maybe we could go out somewhere and get ice cream, right? So we have to evaluate and really be realistic, and we have to criticize our own evaluations. We have to let other people criticize our evaluations too. It's not just a one-sided thing, even though it feels that way. And indeed, I think in a large part it is, because of this Three of Pentacles. It's saying, I'm making the decisions, and I don't care what you think. Well, we do, though. We do care what other people think. And if those are people we care about, then we want those opinions. and like for the comments on YouTube here, I want you to tell me what I could do differently. I want you to criticize the channel. Not too much because I'm fragile, but, I welcome that. And there's a difference, and that's, I think, a very important thing with that Seven of Swords. It's not cruelty. It's not a Nine of Swords. All right. So we've got our two major arcana. We have some fire. We have some water, a lot of good water here. Got a little bit of air. And we've got our earth energies. So the Nine of Cups is the happiness that keeps on happening, the dream that keeps on dreaming, right? The love that keeps on loving. It is abundance on every plane of being. It's the pursuit of happiness. This is following your bliss. This is living a happy life. It's a process. It's an ongoing flow. It's the Tao, right? It's the path. It's the way of the happy life for you. Nobody else can tell you how to be happy. I can give you some suggestions, but no one can determine, no one can make those judgments for you. So you're determining what you need in your life that makes you happy, and it's not just the pleasurable things. It's not just the pleasing gratification of our desire in the moment. I'm hungry. I'm craving ice cream. Boom, I eat ice cream. Happy, right? Well, maybe it is contributing to my overall life happiness. Living my happy life, yeah, maybe. I think ice cream is a big part of my happy life. If I'm living my happy life, I'm having ice cream now and again, And so I think that this is very important. Now, I'm also noticing we've got 3, 3, and 3. This is very, very important energy because it's about the potential in every situation. And that's what we're looking at. Is this the potential for, in every moment we're judging something. I think that you're in the middle of this. You're kind of saying, look, I'm done. I'm changing my life. I'm done with all the nonsense. All the BS is, I'm done with it. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to get happy. Okay? And so in every situation, I think that you're kind of going through your life in this way. I do think you might be meeting somebody, and I think that it's going to be an opportunity for you to test this out. Okay? Because I feel like in every situation there is a potential, and we're looking at everything and we're thinking, okay, is this going to give me some sort of? Is this going to be part of a successful life? Is this going to work? Is this going to be productive in some way? Is there some outcome here that I could achieve? By putting in all this work now, am I going to get something out of it? If I go to work today, are they going to pay me a paycheck? That sort of thing, right? The Three of Cups then is this thing bringing me pleasure right now? Am I enjoying what I'm doing now? Regardless of what the outcome is going to be. Okay, and it's sort of a balancing between these things. It's kind of like I can do this work now, even if I'm not enjoying it, because I know that it's building up something for me. It's leading to bigger things. It's good for me. It's expanding my mind. It's healing my body. That sort of thing. I can eat a salad. I don't want to eat a salad right now. Well, maybe it doesn't sound so pleasurable, but I can do it because I know that it's going to be good for me. It's going to contribute to my overall happiness. Maybe not in that moment, but in the bigger picture, yeah. So we have to be able to have that sort of discernment as well. We have to be able to criticize our judgments and our ideas. Otherwise, we're going to lean toward only doing those things that feel good in the moment. And then I'd be eating ice cream literally twice a day. Maybe 3, maybe breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It'd be ice cream for me. It feels good, right? And so we need a little bit of our past and future. Now, I got to point out, too, that this Knight of Pentacles is your superpower card. I was going to wait till we got to that point, but it's staring me in the face, so I figure this is important. We have to be able to look at the past and the future, okay, to understand what we want to do in the present moment. And so, maybe you're getting tired of my ice cream analogy, but I'm never tired of ice cream. How dare you? If we are evaluating this current choice, the situation we're in, to have ice cream or not to have ice cream, right? That's the question. We're taking our Queen of Pentacles and we're looking at the past and we're thinking, I've had ice cream before and I've liked it and it felt good, tasted good, it was yummy. I'm thinking about it right now. I'm imagining the last bowl of ice cream I had is all melty. I really like the strawberry cheesecake stuff and all Ben and Jerry's and all this stuff. Ben and Jerry's should make a Dove and Serpent tarot flavor. I don't know what it would be yet, but they should make one. I'll get on the horn, make that happen. But I can remember doing it before, and it felt very, very good. I can also remember maybe I started doing it too much, and it wasn't so fun. If I eat ice cream every single day, it sort of loses its flavor. No pun intended. It stops to be so pleasurable. It sort of, and maybe I had some stomach issues. Maybe I started to feel a little bit less healthy because I was eating too much of that stuff. So we have to look back. We have to be able to have this retrospective of our lives and think, I've been there before. And I think for you, whatever this is, whatever's happening in your life, the next thing that happens, the next thing that you are going to really unite with, and I think it's going to be more serious than ice cream, I think it's going to have to do with a partnership, to be honest with you. I think it's going to have to do with this lover's energy in a more sort of literal way, right? And we have to be able to look back at the past and say, okay, yeah, I've done that before. How did it turn out? How did it feel in the moment? And was it part of your happy life at some point in the past? We're trying to understand the history of our lives so that we can apply that to right now. All the wisdom of all your years is helping you evaluate the present moment. We need that. Now, what the Queen of Pentacles is looking at is the Three of Wands, your virtue. And this is the potential of us having virtue, having a moral compass, having some sort of direction. This is us knowing what is right and wrong in our lives for us personally, not in any sort of absolute way. Evaluating what's happening in our lives right now so that we can see what the benefit of it is or what the right course of action is. And I think part of your virtue is your discernment. It's a fairness, right? It's one of the virtues, it's fairness. It's your ability to look at something kind of objectively. I know objectively seems weird because it's a very subjective experience, but trying to look at something and trying to be fair with it. We don't come in with any kind of bias. I think that's part of the problem, that I'm biased towards ice cream. You may be biased against something else, something about this Lover's card, right? You may be biased against a romantic relationship. Some people are. But this is us trying to put aside our bias, trying to be fair, trying to treat this situation as it is, for what it is. And then, of course, thinking back, okay, well, I've been there before. Maybe I didn't like it. Maybe I did. What's the history there? And what sort of, what things am I holding on to? What beliefs do I hold? What sort of absolute truths do I hold from the past that are affecting how I'm evaluating this thing now? Okay. So we have to be able to distinguish between our virtue and our sort of bias. Yeah. So the Three of Wands in the background. I think that, excuse me, sorry about that. I think that in your past, you've had sort of, you've had maybe a difficult time making decisions for yourself, you know. Maybe there was a difficulty, just sort of an obstacle. We didn't have the easiest time evaluating our situations and making the right choices. All of us can say that. All of us can say, hey, I've made some pretty bad choices in my life. Okay? And so I think that we're trying to get a handle on that, to understand those choices that we've made. And what have those choices taught us? And how can we use that information to bear on the present moment? So the Three of Wands in the background. Like I said, it is your virtue. It is you trying to discover who you are and what the right choices are for you. What does right and wrong mean to you? Okay. I think right and wrong for you, at least in part, means treating things fairly. Being able to criticize not only ourselves, but to criticize and evaluate everything in our lives to see, so that we can make the right choice, whether or not we want to engage with it and unite with it and couple with it. Okay. And that Lover's card is that kind of union. And the major arcana energies. I feel like there's something in your life that's coming that you're really going to have to evaluate to see. And this is going to be a big one. Are you going to come together with it? It could be a job. It could be a place to live. It could be a person. It could be a marriage. It could be a friendship. It could be a family, reconciliation, anything, you know. But I think it's very significant. Yeah. And I think that in that moment where this opportunity is before you, you're asking yourself a lot of questions. What's the right thing to do? What do I really want? Is this part of my happy life? Is this going to feel good in the moment, but it's really going to suck long term? Or is it going to suck right now in the moment, but it's going to be good for me long term? Or any mixture of those qualities, right? And so you're taking your happiness into your own hands, and I really do like to see that. We got to talk about the path of the serpent. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. It supports the channel, and I really appreciate that. I have another channel, Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories. You could go take a look at that. And also follow me on Facebook, Dove and Serpent Tarot. Look for the blue check mark. If it doesn't have the blue check mark, it's not me. Okay. Now your general energy is this Three of Cups. Abundance. It's Mercury in Cancer, this card. And this, I think, is about you, this is about you recognizing the deeper joy in things. Okay. It's you understanding that true joy or enjoyment or an enjoyable union does not necessarily mean that in every moment there will be pleasure. It doesn't mean that in every moment there's going to be just positive feelings. It's not, life is not just a constant party, right? Sometimes it is work, you know. And the Three of Pentacles, Three of Cups is really what it's about. And it's our virtue is the ability to understand that life has to be a balance between the hard work and the joy of life. They can be one and the same. Okay, but it's kind of like things that feel good are not always good, and things that perhaps don't have that pleasant gratification, it doesn't mean they're not good for you. We have to evaluate it in that deeper sense of our happy life, you know. And so it really, this is a critical period of evaluation for you. And the Three of Cups is our ability to create joy, perhaps our ability to enjoy whatever we're doing. especially if we know that it's contributing to our happy life. It may not be a very pleasant experience, but we're still finding ways that we can enjoy it. And I use the example always of kind of going to the gym. Going to the gym is not always a pleasant or enjoyable activity, but we take tremendous joy in it because we know that it's contributing to our happy and healthy life. Some of us, anyway. And so, that's the way we have to understand the difference between sort of joy and pleasure. Okay? And I think that this is you really understanding that, we like pleasure. Pleasure's not always a good thing. Doesn't mean this thing is good for me. I take pleasure in eating ice cream. It doesn't mean that doing that all the time is going to be, good for me. But I can have the pleasure of eating ice cream, and then I can also enjoy the experience. If I'm fully present, if I'm not feeling guilty, I'm not doubting or criticizing myself, I'm not getting mad at myself for doing it. I'm enjoying it maybe with family or friends or out somewhere at a ice cream parlor or whatever. I can find joy in the experience of doing it. And the same thing at the gym. I may be at the gym. I may not be really experiencing pleasure, but I can find joy in it. The joy of knowing that I'm pushing my body beyond its limits, and I'm challenging it, and I'm growing it stronger. The joy of just sort of being around all these other people that are pretty much in the same boat. The joy of knowing that the long-term benefits are really worth it. And this is something that it's a little contribution to my future. Yeah. So we understand the difference between joy and pleasure here, and how to create both, and the necessity of both. Right? And then we get to your Knight of Pentacles. That's your superpower card. This is your ability to see the future. And I think that's a very important thing, because we're looking at the past, trying to understand what I've done before and how did it turn out. And that's going to help me make my decisions right now. We're also looking at the future of things and kind of saying, okay, if I do this thing, if I unite with this job, or if I get together with this person, or if I make the choice and I say yes to this, how's it really going to play out? What is that choice doing for my future self? Because see, the Knight of Pentacles, this is a card of karma. Okay? This is the card that says, whatever I'm doing right now is changing who I am, where I am, and what I'm doing in the future. Every thought, word, and deed in the present moment is creating our future self, and our future state, and our future life. And this is your ability to know that, and to sort of see the future. And it's okay, if I do this, what is happening? Who am I going to be in a year? Or 10 years? Right? What kind of karma is that creating for me? So again, back to the ice cream. Well, should I eat this bowl of ice cream? Well, who am I going to be as a result of eating this? Well, it's going to probably make it a little bit more difficult for me to say no next time. Repeating a habit is going to kind of reinforce that habit. Maybe it is just some sugar and some fat and some calories and stuff that I really don't need. Maybe it's my stomach growling now. It wants ice cream. But maybe I'm doing it with family and friends, and it's a joyous experience. So, having a little bowl of ice cream is worth it, because it's creating this future life where I have a stronger bond with my family, my friends. This is a memory. This is a moment now with my daughter, sharing an ice cream cone at the ice cream parlor. This is a moment that's going to is really important for her, and it's important for me. It means a lot to both of us, right? And I think that it's creating a stronger and deeper relationship, both with myself and my surroundings and with the people in my life. Because this card happens to be in your environment, in terms of your relationships. What is the relationship that you want to have with yourself and with your life and with the people in your life? You know? So I kind of wonder if there is a relationship on the horizon for you. Now, it could be a romantic one, of course. Okay? And we know about marriages or romantic relationships that they are sometimes pleasant, sometimes unpleasant, but they are joyful and they're a lot of work. You have to put yourself in that future state and ask if you really like the picture that you see. Do you like who you're going to become if you say yes to this? That is the question. And then our next card is the Knight of Cups. And that is a Cancer energy. The Cancer is your opposite sign. So it's interesting we have Capricorn and Cancer energies here. So not only are you looking toward the future state and thinking, do I like what I see in the future? But do you like how it feels in the future? Because again, we have this idea of earth and water, earth and water. We're looking at something in the future and we're saying, yeah, I like who I am, I like what I'm doing, I like what I'm wearing, I like what car I'm driving, I like the bank account, I like the house. It's kind of in the physical sense. Yeah, I like what I see. It's a successful path. That's kind of an affirmative. Yeah, this is a successful thing. It is contributing to a successful life. But the Knight of Cups is asking us the same question, looking into the future. Is this resulting in a happy life? And this is more difficult to see because obviously the earth energy, the pentacles, the material world is something that we can experience with our senses. So yeah, it's easier to see. If I say yes to this, well, yeah, it could lead to, more money down the road and sort of, better status in life, better station in life. And yeah, it could lead to a successful life. Therefore, I'm going to say yes to this thing. When we ask the question about how it feels, that's a little bit different. Is this going to contribute to your happy life? If you say yes to this, can you see this, being part of you living a happy life? We have to be able to answer that question, ask it and answer it. This is the card of the difficult position. This is the card we don't know how to answer, really. It's kind of hard to say. Because something may be very good in a sort of business way, and that's sort of in a way it's professional. There's a professional relationship here. But there's that emotional relationship here. Okay? And it's kind of like, yeah, we'd be good as business partners, but maybe not as lovers. We'd be good as friends, but maybe nothing more. So I feel like something's coming your way, and I think this is going to be quite a powerful revelation for you. I think something that seems very successful and profitable and prosperous, in terms of your physical, financial kind of situation, right? In a very material world way, I think it's going to be very good. In terms of your emotional life, in terms of your overall happiness of life and the emotional state and who you're becoming, are you becoming a more happy person? I think the answer here is also yes. The question here is, are you becoming a more successful person? Yes. Are you becoming a more happy person? I think also yes. Okay. And now the Seven of Swords there is a little bit of criticism. It is our ability to try to poke holes in our theories. We want to have ideas, we want to make judgments, but then we've got to criticize those judgments. This is part of us keeping ourselves in check, keeping ourselves in balance, trying to be fair. Because we may have a very quick judgment about something or someone, but let's not act on it right away. Let's evaluate. Let's double check our judgment. Let's evaluate our judgment. Let's analyze it. Okay? We have to have these judgments, and then we have to criticize them. Okay? And I think that we do this before we act impulsively, because, we may have these very instant judgments about things. And that's fine. We're trying to be discerning. We're trying to say, I want all the BS out of my life. I'm trying to get happy. And we make these judgments about things. Should I have ice cream or not? Well, I'm going to have it today. Well, maybe no, I'm not going to have it today. Whatever. It's not critical, right? But it's something big like this in your life. And I think this is a big one. We want to have our judgment, but we want to then take our time to really evaluate that judgment and say, okay, well, why am I judging it that way? What is really going on here? How do I really feel? What do I really want? Let's look at the past. Let's look at the future, Let's differentiate between the joy and the pleasure. And let's be open to other ideas. Now, this is also giving space to other people giving us their opinions. And sometimes we have to seek out other people's opinions. And that's a very good thing, but we have to be open to it. We don't want to get our feelings hurt, right? So we have to be willing to sort of talk it through and ask for advice and ask for someone else's opinions. Especially if you're on the verge of saying no to something, let's make sure you really mean it. Let's make sure there's nothing there's nothing you're overlooking. Yeah. I think this is an amazing thing coming your way. Whatever this choice is, whatever this opportunity is that's before you, I think uniting with it is surely. I mean, look at these cards. These cards are amazing cards. Perfect cards. But then we have this card here of criticism, of trying to poke holes in this. That's good. You should evaluate it. Really look at it. And then maybe you'll see kind of what I see here. Well, let's look at our mystery card. Maybe this will give us the confirmation that we need. I don't know what to predict for this card. I don't think I want to predict anything. I think we've got this choice before us. You see all these good cards here, but then we still have a little bit of this disbelief, a little bit of our skepticism. The Seven of Swords kind of saying, might be too good to be true. Let me take a look at it. I don't want to be hasty. I don't want to jump to conclusions. I'm trying to be fair and balanced here. I want to look at everything. Let me read through the paperwork, and then I'll make a decision. If you have a prediction for this card, you can put it in the comments. It's the Moon card. Yeah, of course it is. Because no matter how much evaluation you give it, you're never going to really truly be able to predict the future. You'll still, at the end of all this evaluation, you still don't know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, 100% certainty that you're making the right decision. You're never going to know. You're going to know as the future progresses. You're never going to know unless you go, right? And so that is sort of it's an important check and balance on the Seven of Swords, because the Seven of Swords, we start evaluating all the data, really looking at it, and trying to make a good decision. But the 7 then becomes an 8, and we're just sort of ruminating on it. And then it becomes a 9, and it's cruelty. Then the 9 becomes not just evaluation, but like picking things apart, tearing things down. Then it becomes a 10, and the 10 is just like swiping all this crap off the table. Ruining the entire thing through our overanalysis. So the 7 is where it should stop. And I think that the Moon card is a great reminder of that, because no matter how much evaluation you give it, no matter how much analysis we partake in, we will never know for certain what something is going to be until we do it, until we see it through. So there has to come a point where we just say, you know what, I've analyzed it, I've looked at it. I can't be 100% sure, but in my best estimation, right? It kind of feels like we're in a courtroom, doesn't it? It feels like there is no absolute certainty about anything, but it seems like the data is kind of leaning this way. And so that's going to be my opinion. Because the future will always be uncertain. And I think that if this gives you that little tickle that, hey, it might be successful and it might actually contribute to my happiness. Well, let's lean toward the positive. Let's lean toward the yes. Okay? Because we're not going to know till we go. But if we get stuck in this overanalyzing stuff, then we're doomed. Because the future is never certain. And that's that moon card here. It's always, the future is always going to be a dark, scary forest. And we can plan, we can estimate, we can evaluate, and we can say, well, in my best guess, it's going to be worthwhile for me to go into that dark, scary forest. So that's what we're going to do, and then we're going to move our feet, we're going to go. Because see, we have a lot of cards here of the past, of the future, and a lot of cards of evaluation, a lot of cards of potential for success, potential for joy. We don't see any, this is potential action. We don't see any actual movement yet. Okay? Please keep all of this in mind. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around for that, there is a link up top. There's one down below too. New readings for Capricorn are on Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.